So speaking of WTF, we got to talk about this segment backstage between Austin
Which made
Theory
no
and Adam
sense.
Pearce because it made
No
absolutely
sense.
0 sense. So we see that, as I said earlier, Austin decides that he wants to interfere in the invitational match on behalf of making sure that Rey Mysterio cannot win or something. I have no idea. And then he gets all pissy because Santos comes out and puts his hands on me and how dare he, and says that he wants a match. Then this gets confusing because Adam is like, okay, I'll schedule that US title match for tonight. And Austin's like, no, he hasn't earned a US title match tonight. I just want a match with him. And Pearce is like kind of confused. And so it's like, okay, we'll get this match. And I'm like, why is this happening right now? You literally like Santos is going to have the finals match next week against Rey Mysterio to become the #1 contender for the US title. Why would you then put him in a US title match on SmackDown? Like, or why is this match happening already? Like,
I don't
we know that he's probably going to beat Rey Mysterio, so I don't know. This felt like I don't know what to do for SmackDown other than the bloodline. So let's just put together the rest of the show. That's like,
so this comment from Dickie Martinez says that there was a report that many WWE superstars had COVID and couldn't wrestle on the show. Theory wanting to fight Escobar could have been a rewrite to make up time. It gave Escobar more momentum. I agree that it gave more momentum. That I'm going to agree, because now you have the fans saying, well, he already pinned Theory, so it could happen. I mean, even I'm saying that he pinned Theory already, and it could just be a foreshadowing. Hopefully not a red herring, but more of a foreshadowing. But that's like, if that's the case, it's okay. But yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was just a very odd. It was an odd moment.
It was a very odd moment. I kind of I don't really need to go too lengthy about my thoughts, because it's just like, yeah, I get why they had the match, but you could have done a little bit better of a job explaining why you have a non-title match against Theory.
Yeah.
Maybe, you don't have him go complain to Adam Pearce. Maybe you have Escobar like coming up to him instead of fighting. Then,
Or
then you say, like,
Pearce sets it up by himself and is like, oh, so I saw what happened out there. How about we schedule a match between the two of you or whatever?
And you
like
don't
at least
put the title on the line because they're going to face each other next week for the contendership.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was very weird. I just did not. It was a very lazy. I think it was a lazy way to get this match on.
Well, and if the COVID thing is true, then it's like, okay, then you had to
Fair.
scramble to do rewrites. But also, when did you find out that these people had COVID? I find it hard to believe that you had to scramble when it was like 8 hours before the show. I can't imagine that they found out that they had COVID like an hour beforehand.
No,
so that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you could have come up with a little bit better when you are literally a team of creative writers. Like,
Well,
it's like sometimes it's just where I'm like, it wasn't just one dude coming up with this. It's like a team.
Agreed. It was just more confusing to me why, like, even if that happens, cool, I get why you have the match, but that's the product you put out as the connect. Like, I don't know. I think I could have wrote it better, honestly.